Yeshua HaMashiach said the two greatest commandments was to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and strength, might, and to love your neighbor as yourself. The Lord Yeshua was quoting Deuteronomy 6. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear Israel, Adonai our God, Adonai is one. And you are to love Adonai your God with all your heart, all your being, and all your resources. These words which I am ordering you today are to be on your heart. Verse 7, this is how you love your neighbor as yourself. You are to teach them carefully to your children. You are to talk about them when you sit at home, when you are traveling on the road, when you lie down, and when you get up. Tie them on your hand as a sign. Put them at the front of a headband around your forehead, and write them on the door frames of your house and on your gates. Devarim, Deuteronomy 11:13. So if you listen carefully to my mitzvot, commandments, which I am giving you today to love Adonai your God and to serve him with all your heart and all your being, then says Adonai, I will give your land its rain at the right seasons, including the early fall rains and the late spring rains, so that you can gather in your wheat, new wine, and olive oil, and I will give your fields grass for your livestock, with the result that you will eat and be satisfied. But be careful not to let yourselves be seduced, so that you turn aside serving other little g gods and worshiping them. If you do, the anger of Adonai will blaze up against you. He will shut up the sky so that there will be no rain. The ground will not yield its produce, and you will quickly pass away from the good land Adonai is giving you. Therefore you are to store up these words of mine in your heart and in all your being. Tie them on your hand as a sign. Put them at the front of a headband around your forehead. Teach them carefully to your children, talking about them when you sit at home, when you are traveling on the road, when you lie down, and when you get up. And write them on the door frames of your house and on your gates, so that you and your children will live long on the land Adonai swore to your ancestors that he would give them for as long as there is sky above the earth. Deuteronomy 5, Devarim. Then Moshe called to all Israel and said to them, Listen, Israel, to the laws and rulings which I am announcing in your hearing today, so that you will learn them and take care to obey them. Adonai our God made a covenant with us at Horeb. Adonai did not make this covenant with our fathers, but with us, who are all of us here alive today. That's you and me. Adonai spoke with you face to face from the fire on the mountain. At the time I stood between Adonai and you in order to tell you what Adonai was saying, because on account of the fire, you were afraid and wouldn't go up onto the mountain, he said. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, where you lived as slaves. You are to have no other gods before me, little g gods. You are not to make for yourselves a carved image, or any kind of representation of anything in heaven above, or on earth beneath, or in the water below the shoreline. You are not to bow down to them or serve them, for I, Adonai your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sins of the parents, also the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but displaying grace to the thousandth generation of those who love me and obey my mitzvot, my commandments, my instructions, my orders, You are not to misuse the name of Adonai your God, because Adonai will not leave unpunished someone who misuses his name, brings shame to his name. Observe the day of Shabbat, to set it apart as holy, as Adonai your God ordered you to do. You have 6 days to labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Shabbat for Adonai your God. On it you are not to do any kind of work, not you, nor your son or your daughter, not your male or female slave, not your ox, your donkey, or any of your other livestock, and not the foreigner staying with you inside the gates to your property. So that your male and female servants can rest just as you do. You are to remember that you are a slave in the land of Egypt, and Adonai your God brought you out from there with a strong hand and an outstretched arm. Therefore, Adonai your God has ordered you to keep the day of Shabbat. It's an order. Honor your father and mother as Adonai your God ordered you to do, so that you will live long and have things go well with you in the land Adonai your God has given you. Do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not give false evidence against your neighbor. Do not covet your neighbor's wife, do not covet your neighbor's house, his field, his male or female slave, his ox, his donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor, physically and spiritually. These words Adonai spoke to your entire gathering at the mountain from fire, cloud, and thick mist, and a voice, and it ceased. But he wrote them on 2 stone tablets, which he gave to me. When you heard the voice coming out of the darkness as the mountain blazed with fire, you came to me, all the heads of your tribes and your leaders, and said, Here Adonai our God has shown us his glory and his greatness. We've heard his voice coming from the fire, and we have seen today that God does speak with human beings, and they stay alive. But why should we keep risking death? This great fire will consume us. If we hear the voice of Adonai our God anymore, we will die. For who is there of all humanity that has heard the voice of the living God speaking from the fire as we haven't stayed alive? You go near and hear everything Adonai our God says. Then you will tell us everything Adonai our God says to you, and we will listen, and we will do it. Exodus 20. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God, and if thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. It's a holy, set apart, sanctified day to drop what you're doing and worship Father his way. And he specified to remember the Sabbath day. Because why? He knew his people would forget and break his covenant.